I put my hand over hers and she turns her palm and interlaces her fingers with mine. She traces the keyhole on my arm with the tip of her other thumb. It tinkles. I tilt my head to read the words written on her arm in what looks like a permanent marker. Everybody's lost something. It's something everyone was saying, Rose explains, and it was in Laurel's diary too. Me and Olive, we have this thing where we write, like our notes to ourselves on our skin. I don't know. I guess getting a tattoo is like an extreme version of that. I laugh. How many do you have? Rose asks. Tattoos? Yeah, just 3. Rose snorts. Just 3, she says. What's the third one? I grin and pull my t-shirt up over my head. I let it drop to the floor. I lean back on the mattress so she can read it. She runs a finger just underneath the words, and my whole body laps up with her touch. Silvery tinkles from scalp to toes. Kill your darling, she says. Dark. Not really, I say. It's William Faulkner. He wrote The Sound and the Fury. Rose just shrugs. My granddad likes his books, I said. Anyway, he said that when you're writing, you have to kill your darlings. Get rid of anything you're just holding on to for the sake of it, because it's safe, because it's your favorite. So you drop everything and run away to live in an abandoned development in the middle of nowhere? Ha! The bedroom is echoey and candlelit. The bed's unsteady underneath me. I guess it's advice I'm still working on taking. Rose takes her hand away, even though all I want right now is for her to keep it there forever. But then she takes my face in her hands and she kisses me. Her kiss is soft, then fierce, then kind of breathless, her hands at the back of my neck. She grabs handfuls of my curls and presses herself against me, and it's her lips on my lips and her hands in my hair. It's my hands at the back, her back under her t-shirt, then her hands running the length of my bare legs. It's our eyes closed and our bodies close. It's a taste of her tongue. It's her electric hair, like a curtain to shield us both from the rest of the world. It's her electric skin setting off sparks everywhere she touches me. Can I sleep in here tonight, she asks, and my whole body lights up like a goddamn Christmas tree. Yes, I said simply. And then her hands are at my pajama shorts, mine pulling off her t-shirt I lent her. It tangles in her hair and we lose our balance, me tipping backward into the bedclothes and her being pulled forward, falling on top of me. She shakes her head to free her hair and her face is just above mine. She's leaning on her elbows and her body is just a hair breadth above me. Half an inch of thin air between our skin. She laughs low and I raise my head to kiss her, and finally she lowers her body down. Her knees either side of my legs, her hips against my hips, her back under my hands arching up, our chests pressed tight together so that I lose all the breath of my body for the wanting coursing through me. Naked bodies have so much skin. I can feel every inch of her, over every inch of me, and I can bite down with how much I wanted it. So I slow down. I feel like I should stop. I don't want to make her think of it again, but I have to ask, is this okay? I'm murmuring to her hair. This is good, she whispers. And this. Her thumb across my lips. And this. Her palm on my breast. And this. Her hand at my hips. When she kisses me again, I turn over so she's under me, and I run my hands the whole length of her body. I want to kiss every bit of her skin, so I start with her neck, her breast, her belly. I kiss between her legs, and her whole body shivers. She tangles her fingers in my curls, and I tongue her until she's wet and gasping. I follow with my fingers until she shudders and grabs my hair hard. She pulls me back up to her and kisses me fiercely. She slips a hand between my legs, and I kiss her neck until I forget everything but this feeling. And honestly, it's a lot less like what was in my heart and more like finally being found. Chapter 26, Olive, Saturday, May 13th. Lost. I can't. I wake up in the middle of the night to howling that doesn't sound like the wind. For a moment, I'm not sure where I am, but then the room focuses slowly around me. I'm in the third bedroom of the old oak house, laying on a mattress on the floor that usually serves as Ivy's bed, but Rose isn't on the mattress beside me anymore. Her impressions are left on the discarded sheets, but that side of the bed is cold. All the doors that lead off the landing are closed, but I can hear music playing softly from downstairs. So I pad down the bare steps of the stairs to the kitchen when I see the flickering light of candles on the counters. I realize I'm not the only person awake in the storm. Rowan is sitting alone at the head of the kitchen table like an ancient king in his dining hall. In front of him is an open bottle of whiskey and a half a full glass. He is topless and his chest is pale and broad. He has a tattoo of some kind of mythological creature all along the left side of his ribcage, and another, a line of words I can't make out from here, on his right arm. No one I know my age has real tattoos except these two. A phoenix The name of the creature comes to me in a flash of lightning. I stand in the draft from the door for maybe longer than I should, and quickly lower my eyes when I realize I've been staring. My cheeks burn. Rowan raises his eyebrows and smiles. I wish I didn't blush so easily, or so pink. I wish I could believe that I'm enough in shadow at this side of the kitchen for him not to notice. But he does notice. Of course he notices. I throw my shoulders back. Came down for a glass of water, I say, and another long, languid howl from outside cuts me off. My muscles seize up. Rowan kicks his chair back onto two legs and swings his own pajama-clad legs up onto the table. He has hair on his bare toes. I take a shaky breath. Rowan seems entirely unconcerned by the noise, or at least it seems like he wants me to think that. But I can see his hand shake slightly as he reaches for his glass. I gesture toward the whiskey with my chin. Can I have some? The wind rushes at the house again. In the distance, thunder rumbles. 10-year-old single malt, says Rowan, appreciatively tilting the bottle of whiskey so I can see the label. He gestures to the chair beside him and pushes his glass across the table to me. Last thing we ever used our parents' credit card for. It's delicious. Tastes like peat-free smoke. I sit down slowly. I'm not sure how alcohol can taste like chimney smoke, but I'm too embarrassed to ask. I'm more versed in cans of tasteless cider and cheap vodka mixed with something sweet than I am in fancy whiskey. A small part of me resents that I am the one feeling awkward when Rowan is wearing only threadbare flannel pajama bottoms. But even like this, drinking alone in the empty kitchen, he is more self-possessed than I am. I imagine telling Rose about this in the morning. Flannel pajamas and single malt whiskey, she's bound to say, "What? A hipster." The problem is, Rowan never seems like he's trying too hard or trying it off. I take a small sip of the whiskey. I'm probably not sophisticated enough to detect notes of peat fire smoke. I say, anyway, smacking my lips earnestly. Inside I'm grimacing. It doesn't taste much better than the potent. Right, Rowan says, almost excited. Nectar of the gods. He gets up to fetch me my own glass. I sneakily take another sip to see if that'll help me get used to it. Some Diet Coke would help. Maybe some cranberry juice. But I'm certain this is the kind of drink that is meant to be taken neat. I bite back a cough. After the fourth small sip, though, I start to feel that triangle of warmth spreading somewhere between my ribs. My body recognizes the feeling from earlier, although I think I drink less of Mags McGuire's moonshine than some of the others did. My limbs begin to loosen slightly. The only howling from outside now is the sound of the wind. It's in part the whiskey and in part the wind that makes me say, I've never met anyone quite like you guys before. Anyone like us? Rowan asked. You know, maybe the whiskey is loosening my tongue. Painfully cool, slightly tragic, sad-eyed tattooed hipster kids with no parental supervision and a tolerance for strong alcohol. Right now you're alone in the kitchen of an abandoned house in the middle of the woods, drinking single malt whiskey, shirtless during a thunderstorm. Come on. Rowan looks a little surprised at all this, but he's still smiling. I'm not alone right now, he points out. Touchy. I take another small sip. There is significantly less whiskey in the glass than when I started. You're more like people in the story than someone real. My tone is dreamier than I'd intended, but I find that I don't really mind, and anyway, I'm not sure Rowan has noticed this time. He almost looks a little sad. Not really, he says. Yes, really. Rowan and I sit in silence for a spell, so I say, why are you down here? I wonder if the howling woke him up too. Lingering flashes of red-haired girl running through a storm. I hope she found shelter. I hope she made it home. Rowan clears his throat. I guess I'm waiting. For what? I look around the ill-lit kitchen to see if the spell worked. Oh. He said it so matter-of-factly. He said it like he believes it's true. I give my feelings a little pride. Do I believe it? Before last night I would have given a resounding no, but now I'm not so sure. You look, I said tentatively, you look a little sad. Rowan's mouth twists. Not sad so much, he says. More afraid. Afraid of what? I ask, the howling wind, the darkness of the empty development, footsteps on the tunnel roof. I don't know, he answers. The whiskey swirls in its almost empty glass. It just feels like we found Laurel's diary as a warning, you know? All these weird things started happening to them after they cast that spell. A boy going missing. Finding that Jude guy, not knowing anything about him. Creepy lost dogs, blood and baby teeth. I guess they're just some of the things we lose during our lifetime. You're telling me you don't find the idea of finding teeth in the forest creepy as fuck? I can't help but shiver. Okay, I say, I'll give you that. We both take a drink. I'm just worried, he says, that with all the things we wanted to find, big things, like everything Rose lost, like my mom, like I don't even remember what Ivy wrote, we might have called up other things that shouldn't be found. And a bit of that sacrifice, you know, that scares me. There's not a whole lot I can afford to lose right now. The candles drip wax, the flames sputter. All I've got is right here. All I've got is this roof over our heads, my pay cash and hand at McGuire's and Hazel and Ivy. They're all I've got left. I wanted to say he's got me and Rose too, but I know we're not the same thing. I honestly do not realize what I'm about to say until it's halfway out of my mouth. I ask, have you ever, with Ivy? I meant to say, been out with or dated or become involved with, but because of the way I've said it, I know it sounds like have sex with. I open my mouth to clarify, but Rowan gets there before me. Have I ever what? Sat shirtless in the kitchen with her at 2 in the morning and drink whiskey? I try not to blush even redder than I'm currently blushing. I didn't mean. Rowan goes on as if I haven't said anything. Kissed, he says? Yes. Oh, my voice is short. I guess that makes sense. You really seem like there's history there. I curse myself as I keep talking, and I can't say anything right. My cheeks feel like they're on fire. Not that kind of history, really. He's looking at his hands. Oh. I push the empty whiskey glass away from me. On top of the potent earlier and the beers before that, I'm starting to feel like it was a bad idea. Have we had sex? No. He says as if he's talking to himself. To his freckled hands folded against his glass, I realize that he's a lot drunker than I thought. It makes me feel a bit better about how bubbling I've been acting. No? Is all I say? No. In a way, a small, strange way, this is like talking with Rose after a party. Confessions and secrets and head-ducking whispers. I'm settling on a slightly more familiar territory, and it thrills me, because really, he's not just some unfathomable, sophisticated person who drinks single malt whiskey in the kitchen of an abandoned house. He's also a boy, and I'm a girl, and we can talk to each other. Have you ever? I ask once I reach the end of that train of thought. Rowan looks surprised to hear me ask that, and he smiles when he looks up at me. I'm so relieved I giggle a bit. Giggling, really, Olive? And say, it feels like we should be playing Truth or Dare or something. This makes him grin wilder. Not really, he says. I have a moment of slightly confusion before he clarifies. Had sex, I mean. A funny feeling skitters across my tummy, and I clear my throat before I say, not really. More than kissing, less than sex, he offers, as an explanation. That sounds like a mathematical equation. If x equals k2, but k2 subtracted by sex, find the value of not really sex. And then it hits me. Oh, you. Right. More than kissing, less than sex. Why didn't I realize it earlier? It could have been with Ivy. I can feel the blush to end all blushes floating my face. How am I going to look at her in the morning? How am I going to hear her soft voice talking about breakfast cereals when they might have done more than kissing? What is more than kissing, anyway? Part of me needs to know every exact detail so that I can stop mentally filling in the blanks. Was it with Ivy? How much is less than sex, anyway? Just some groping? Have they seen each other naked? Have there been orgasms? Has he gone down on her? Has she gone down on him? Why can't I stop thinking about this? How about you? My train of thought comes to a screeching halt. Huh? Rowan pours more whiskey in my glass. How about you? He says again. Oh, right. More than kissing, less than sex. Same, I suppose. Rowan tilts his glass so that the candlelight hits it, refracts into sunbeams on the rickety oak camping table. With every sip, the whiskey tastes a little earthier, a little warmer, a little more like peat fire smoke. Nectar of the gods. Virginity, Rowan says suddenly as if he's answering a question. Virginity? Something you can lose? Ugh, I cry. Why does everyone keep saying that? Saying what? But I'm getting riled up now. Why doesn't everyone understand that the very idea of virginity is a hetero concept invented to make women feel bad about sex? Rowan sputters. A hetero what? I ignore him. As if a woman is somehow worth more when she hasn't had penetrative intercourse. Because, of course, there's a double standard when it comes to men. And anyway, who the hell gets to decide what the cutoff point for virginity is? Rowan nearly swallows his whiskey the wrong way. Do you want me to draw you a diagram? I glare at him. I understand the mechanics, thanks. But ask yourself this. What if you're a girl who has only ever dated girls? Who decides the mechanics then? The hetero power tree, Rowan answers with an almost straight face. So he is paying attention. Exactly. Okay, he says, I'm with you. But don't you think you need something, like to mark the occasion? I mean, not you personally. One needs something. He frowns at himself and drinks more whiskey. I think about Rose. I try not to think about Rose. I think instead about all the glorious freckled-skinned Rowans got on display right now. Maybe it's more about first, I said slowly, still figuring this out. Maybe every first is a loss. Rowan leans forward in his seat. Suddenly he's watching me with this incredible intense look in his eyes, as if he's drinking me like whiskey. I wonder if I'd taste earthly like peat fire smoke. Every first is a loss, he breathes. I like that. He picks up a marker and stands in front of me. He's really not wearing very much. I take the marker he's offering. He hunkers down on the tiles beside me and hands me his left arm, the one not already tattooed. Before uncapping the marker, I take his other arm and turn it so I can see the words in there. They are written in particularly perfect cursive, and they say, "Not all those who wander are lost." So you're a Tolkien fan, I ask. Not all that is gold does not glitter, I quote. Not all those who wander are lost. I got it as a reminder, he says, that no matter how far away from home I get, I don't have to be lost. I can still be myself. Of course, it's got a lot more meaning now, he says. Lost things everywhere. His face is lower than mine, tilted up so he can see me. So many freckles. The candles on the table reflect at the very edges of his glass. I want to touch his cheek. I want to run my hands through his hair. Really, I probably just want to kiss him. Instead, I uncap the marker and take his bare arm in my other hand. I swivel in my chair so that I can write steadily. He rests his arm on my knees. I start at the crook of his elbow where I imagine his heart beats that I write every first is a loss, in the same careful writing that covers my own left forearm. I've never thought about my handwriting was particularly pretty until now. Somehow it complements the cursive of his tattoo. Does that mean that every first kiss with a new person is also a loss? He asked in an almost whisper, his arm on my knees, his face just below mine. I guess not. Then all losses are bad. Wait, I guess it must, I tell him. Then not all losses are bad. I guess not, I said softly. His face is tilted up toward me. He raises himself up on his knees ever so slightly, and our lips align. His eyes are not quite closed. He's staring at my mouth. I'm staring at his. We inch forward, and the kitchen door slams open. We spring apart. A couple of candles blow out, and a bowl of something or other on the counter tips over, spilling little things all over the floor. When I turn around, I see Ivy. Oh, she says. I'm sorry. The wind howls through the house. It must have been a draft that blew the door open. I somehow can't imagine little quiet Ivy banging doors. I just wanted some aspirin. Her voice trails off at the end of every sentence. Even with my hearing aid in, I can only make out half her words. Whiskey Rowan offers, nectar of the gods. Oh no, I think I had quite enough strong spirits for tonight. My lips tingle, unkissed. Ivy runs the tap and drinks water from it like a cat, swallows 2 aspirin and waves goodnight with a sad-eyed smile before disappearing upstairs. Her skin is so pale and she is so thin, and her lips are so soft and her eyes are so big. She's like little red Goldilocks or Snow Beauty. I can imagine Rowan kissing her. I can imagine his hands around her tiny waist. I look down at my own decidedly untiny waist and the soft flesh on my belly, and I fold my arms over myself. I scrape back my chair. I should get some sleep, I say to Rowan, who is still staring at the door of the kitchen. An invisible imprint Ivy is left behind. I'm in for a fun time explaining all this to my parents tomorrow. See you in the morning, Rowan says, as if from far away. He tilts the whiskey bottle and refills his glass. The candles flicker, almost all melted around him.